All right, so we are here at Small Batch. Small Batch is one of my favorite restaurants in town. It's new and it's owned by a guy named Dave Bailey, who is a pretty prolific restaurateur in town. He has some of the best restaurants without a question. This place is pretty cool. It's got a ton of natural light. We've got two sides of this restaurant that are all windows, but there's a mezzanine that kind of bisects that, so it's going to create a little bit of challenge for us as we work. And then the interior of the restaurant is really dark. We've got a lot of black, we've got some high ceilings, and it kind of sucks up light on that side. So the first thing I want to do is a tech scout. And what I mean by tech scout is I want to go around and I want to look at everything in the restaurant. I want to figure out exactly where all the power outlets are. I want to take a look at the positioning of the tables. I want to take a look at the positioning of the building in terms of how the windows are placed towards the sun. That's going to tell me how I can shoot with available light throughout the course of the day. Then I'm also going to walk around and I'm going to talk with the chefs and I'm going to get their ideas on what kind of food they want to prepare. I'll give them my 2 cents on what I think we should see, and we're going to go from there. So the first thing we do is kind of get the lay of the land. I brought a camera with me just so I could take a really quick look around and take some quick shots just to get a feel for the place. Okay, so one of the things that I've done on this Tech Scout is I brought my 5D Mark III with a 50mm lens. And the reason I did that is that's my base. I know it's a full frame sensor with a standard lens on it. That'll give me a really good sense of what the place is like. I don't want to come in with a really wide lens or a really telephoto lens in order to compress it, because that's not going to give me a good sense of what the place is like. I want that kind of neutral base sense, because that's going to give me the ability to make some decisions on whether I want to go wider or whether I want to go tighter with my perspective of the environment. So we're first going to take a look at power, which in restaurants can be hard to find because they kind of hide it. So I'm sure there's going to be stuff behind the bar. Because there's not much available in the restaurant. So wow, they have it really well hidden. Okay, so I got a power outlet back here. And I've got another one here. And that is basically it for the body of the restaurant. I've got 2 power outlets that I can snag from in the bar. That's it. So I'm going to take a quick look upstairs and by the hostess stand and see if I can find some more. There's also a hallway here to the building, and I might be able to find some power there. Now, I am going to shoot a lot with available light, but I also want to shoot with strobe. I want you to see how I can do it with both. So, good, there's more power here. So I got a power outlet down there. So I know when I come in here, I've got very limited power. I maybe have 3 plugs I can work with, unless I go into the hallway and try to pull from there. But really, that's fine, because keep in mind, I don't want to bring in 15 lights into this place. I want it to be clean, simple, nice, and environmental. So maybe 2 lights, power pack or 2, I should be okay. I just know I need extension cords without a question. So it's kind of interesting. A couple of shots that I thought might be nice, immediately I knew they were terrible, so I didn't even bother with the second shot. But I am trying to capitalize on the qualities of this place that are really cool. And there's definitely, oh yeah, there's definitely some interesting shots in here. Nice lines, cool environment, I like it. It's got some unusual features too. These lights are really cool, the mezzanine's interesting. The wallpaper is a blast, so I want to see if I can work that in somehow and have it look cool. It's fire hydrants and parking meters in black and gold. Kind of like that. Definitely have 2 shots up here I really like. So I definitely have some shots in here that are really cool. I can easily see 3 up here. I see 3 or 4 downstairs. So now it's time to talk to the chefs and figure out what we want to do first. Okay, so we're going to do something different now. We haven't done this at all yet, and that is we're going to mix ambient light with strobe. So in this restaurant, there's this bank of east-facing windows that I have a little bit of time with before the sun goes away from it. So I'm going to shoot the first shot here, and what we're going to do is actually do 2 different dishes in this position. In fact, I want to give the chef and the owner of the restaurant as many images as I possibly can. So we've picked 5 locations within the restaurant. We're going to do 2 dishes in each spot. So the first one I'm really going to noodle, and I'm going to get it just right, kind of work that environment, get that shot done, and then we're going to pop in the next one. It is a crazy pressure cooker of a day in terms of how many shots we want to get done, and we're going to try to show you a lot of different light styles. So first and foremost, I'm going to do something I normally don't do, and that is use really harsh sun coming across, because I actually like what's going on with this particular window and the surface and the glassware and that kind of stuff. We're going to fill it in by hanging a bed sheet across next to the set. We've got this great mezzanine that's right above us, and we're going to be able to hang a bed sheet. I'm going to use 1 Hensel with a Porty. It's going to pop right in there, and we're going to fill in our shadows so they're not too harsh. Okay, so just a couple quick reminders as I get into this. I'm shooting to my laptop. I'm tethered. I've got a card inside of the camera, and I'm shooting to my laptop, so I've got a means of backup as I go. All the images are going both to the card and to the computer, so if something happens, I'm safe. You always want to make sure that you've got at least 2 copies of everything as you're going. So I'm going to hang this guy. I almost always wear shirts with the tail out. I think the last time I tucked in my shirt I was in grade school for some school photo or something. This is a great place to keep your clamps. Just go ahead, you can reach them very easily, and I'm going to clamp onto this bar. So what I'm doing here is I've got this nice bed sheet, or this silk, that I'm hanging from the mezzanine, and it's going to push light back through it. I'm using the Hensel Porty with 1 single head, and it's on a reflector kind of pointing right here towards the food. So now I got to strike the balance between my sunlight, which is hot and kind of glaring, and the fill light, because I just want those shadows to be prevalent but not too dark and too deep. So let's take a shot and see where we are with this. All right, that is really not too bad from the very get-go. I think I got lucky on that. I love kind of the stuff that's going on down here. I've got some real interest. My shadows are a little too deep, as you can see, and I want to get those to fill in. So the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can push my sync speed a little bit here. I want to actually take down some of the sunlight. And just that has helped. So I had a reflector on there, and I took it off. I wanted that bare bulb. I want to see if that's going to help me fill in that a little bit, which honestly it's not. I need this reflector to kind of push that light in and give it a little bit of pop. All right, so a couple things I want to do. I want to set my crop again. I'm shooting horizontal, so I want to make sure that I go to my 14x22 crop. I'm on it, and I think I might want to take out some of this extraneous stuff that I just don't need. Again, I want to create that sense of environment. I've got a little bit of this chair kind of coming in here. It's hot, you kind of can't tell what it is. I like the fact that there's something breaking that up. There's nice lines going on here. I think I might futz with this just a little bit though. I'm going to move this over. Nice thing is I can bring my computer towards me and I can take a look at it. So if you look right here, this is actually really cool. The logo is on the window and it's reflecting right now in shadow on the surface. Reflecting, it's casting a shadow on the surface, which I think is kind of hip. So I'm going to play up that factor. And I've got some, ooh yeah, look at this. I want another bottle full like that, okay? Except, I don't want to kill that too much. So I'm going to get rid of this glass because it's really not helping me. I'm going to move this wine glass over here, and I'm going to bring this water bottle right in here. Should be kind of interesting. Okay, actually I'm going to go back. I don't like this. You can see how adding this bottle of water here has made it really big, and it's suddenly taking over absolutely everything. This was much nicer when I just had a little bit of hit of the environment, what was going on. I'm going to see what happens too when I just pull that chair out completely. Let's take a quick look. See what happens when that goes away. So I'm going to get down here on the level of the set. Make some adjustments. All right, so let me take a quick analysis of this. I like it better without the chair in front, I think. So again, I'm fine-tuning. I'm just making some adjustments to see what I like or dislike in the background. I think I want that chair back in there. It was giving me a little bit of something. It was kind of nice. Experimentation never hurts. My shadow's moving rather quickly, so I got to really move here. So now comes the time where I have to pull some stuff out of my kit. Okay, so I'm going to grab a couple things out of my food styling kit because I just want to make sure I keep this fresh. I've got this salmon here in the sun. It's going to be hot. I'm going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to keep it moist. And I'm going to kind of redo the garnish just a little bit because it's kind of in a spot that I don't like. So I'm going to pull those to the side. I'm going to moisten this fish just to make sure it doesn't dry out and look bad. It smells fantastic, I can tell you that much. So I'm just going to fix a couple things I see that I don't like here. Some of this I may have to fix in post. Now one thing I can tell that's going on is this is just not getting enough light in the shadows. So I know with my fish I'm going to have to pop some light in from somewhere. That's a little hot, so I'm going to have to be really careful where I do this. Let's see what happens if I do something like that. You can see how dead the fish is now, and then boom, it's starting to bring it to life. So I'm going to play with that a little bit. Bang, right there. So let's take a quick look at the difference in that. That had no fill card whatsoever. I'm using a silver card, I'm catching the sun, and I'm kind of throwing it in. So right there I was starting to get it, wasn't quite right. Boom. There it's really hitting the fish. It has that good kind of sunny feel. It feels like this is a perfect little lunch spot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my garnishes back in. And I think I can finalize this shot. These are cool. Dainty little dill. Woo, this is going to be pretty, guys. I'm digging it. All right, so I'm going to pop this a few times. So let me see where I am here. Let's take a really quick look at my camera settings. I'm shooting at 1/250th of a second. That way I can still sync with my strobe, but I'm kind of knocking down some of the sunlight that's coming from outside. I'm shooting at 7.1 for my F, and my ISO is 100, so bang. So I'm going to do this from a few different spots. I don't want to totally blow that out, and I'm just going to play with it a little bit. This might be something where I kind of mix stuff a little bit. I'm also going to change my garnish because I'm not completely in love with it. Let's blow it up and take a quick look. It's not bad. I think I want to change it just a little bit. I see a fleck on this that I don't like. This is just a little bit of the fat kind of coming out. So I'm going to get rid of that. So again, it's all in the details, right? I'm paying attention to these details. Like the garnish, I want to bring it and give it a little bit more life. This is actually kind of hard. I'm squinting, I'm hot. I gotta go in a hurry. But it's fun. This is part of food photography that's really kind of cool. Mixing it up and doing something different. The other thing I noticed when I blew this up is that my capers were just completely dying. They are really, really dark. So I want to bring some, ooh, nice. I want to bring some light into all of that, and I really am digging where this is going. There's one little silver card, handheld, just to bring some light in. Now, one thing that is nice about this, I don't have to lock up my mirror because I'm shooting at 1/250th. I did plug in my intervalometer so I can not touch the camera, and I can reach in here a little bit better and see where I'm getting that light. Whoop. I definitely like the garnish a little bit more, but I'm going to see if I can get some more from the chef because it's just feeling a little too thin. Let's say sparse. So let's see if we can get more of that dill from the chef. All right, so I asked the chef for a few more ingredients so I can just kind of fine tune this a little bit more. And I'm going to use one of their forks. We're going to add a few more capers in here. Come hungry, right? Oh boy. This is crazy stuff. A very funky dill. So we're gonna add some of this in there as well. Oh, I kind of like that. Let's see what happens when we add this. So again, I'm seeing a couple things I don't like here. And get rid of those. I'm going to moisten it one more time because it's sitting in the sun. I'm starting to fry, so the food has got to get hot too. Just going to moisten this top a little bit. Keep the fish from drying out. We'll add some garnish. And we might be done. All right. Let's give that a quick look. And I can already tell, I know when I snap this, I'm not going to like it because I've got way too much here in terms of green. So I'm going to pick some of this off. Just a little pinch. All right, so I think I'm ready to kind of wrap this guy up. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, nicer. I think I like it with this new garnish. It might be a little big. In fact, I definitely feel like the new garnish I put on there is a little big. So I'm going to tone it down, I definitely want to take some of these leaves off. One of the nice things about shooting it this way is I've got all these captures. So if I want to go back and pick up something that I had done earlier, I can do so. And just for insurance sake, I'm probably going to get this shot, feel very comfortable with it, pull some of the background elements off, capture it again. That way it gives me some versatility if in post I want to go and I want to make some changes. So that's something to keep in mind. You can do something really quickly where you just do an extra shot or two, and it can help you in post-production by giving you some options in case you make some changes or choice changes down the road. Ooh, let's see if we can get this to work. Super delicate work here. Like it. All right, and I know I'm going to need to finish this shot pretty soon because I'm starting to run out of time. Ah, no, it's too flat. Too flat. Yeah, this might be the way to go. In fact, that is looking good. That is cooler without question. I think this is a pretty shot. I think they're going to be happy with it in the end. And they're going to work on another dish for me, so we're going to do a tuna niçoise right here as well. The kind of idea that we're going for is this really fresh summer lunch, which is why we like the sun. Oh, I dig it. Now you can tell my napkin is starting to go completely into shadow because my light's going. So I'm going to have to pick up one from an earlier shot. I did move my camera position a little bit, but I've got enough of it where I can live with it and I can make it work in post. I also lost my logo. It has now gone completely to another spot. So in post-production, I'm going to remember that I want that guy in there, and I'm going to merge a couple of these guys together. And that's where it's going to come in handy to have my background clean. Those elements that I had earlier, I'll be able to bring in and not have to fight with all this stuff. So I like it. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to make one final change to the garnish. That's it. I'm done with it. Come hell or high water. I'm making a decision to move on. Whoop. Boom, that's it, love it. Okay, so now, last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull my background elements. It's gonna give me a clean surface so that when I wanna merge a couple of these images together, I've got it, and I don't have to worry about trying to pull things together in post-production. Safe to say it's good to wear jeans because you can just use them as a rag. Now I really don't have to do this. Get out of here, fly. Come on now. All right, that's it. This one is done. Now they can bring on the other one, the tuna niçoise. We'll shoot it in the same position. This is going to be moving fast, so I want to see where the sun goes. I may have to actually change my camera position a little bit. So I'll do a variant of this shot, but it'll be pretty close.